Today is October 13th, 2025. My name is Joe Reingold, and I'm here interviewing Dr. Rick Levy. Good afternoon, Dr. Levy.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Tell us whatever you'd like to about your family background, whatever history you want to share with us.
Sure. First, my apologies on my speech. I've been diagnosed with ALS about a year ago, and it has had an effect on my speech. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Both my mom and dad met in New Orleans, and there's a small Jewish community there, and I spent my first 32 years in New Orleans before moving here. I guess the easiest way to probably start is with some family history. Off the top of my head, I can go back a few generations, but I'll limit it to my grandparents. We'll kind of start there.
Okay.
My grandfather was Julius Levy Sr. My father was Julius Levy Jr. And my grandfather was born in the United States, in Louisiana, and his family has a background that includes some Austrian and even some French. He met my grandmother in the U.S. in Mississippi, and he graduated from med school in 1928. He had one son, my father, and my dad also graduated from Tulane Med School. For him, it was 1957. I grew up in New Orleans, born in 1964. I have a younger brother, an older sister. My sister now lives in New York and is married with 3 boys. My brother lives here in Dallas, and it was a big reason why I moved here, because I wanted my kids to grow up knowing their cousins.
What is his name?
Andrew is his name. He's 2 years younger than me. He has 2 boys and a girl.
Did most of them, have they ended up here in this area?
They're right now all in this area. So I have 4 children. My oldest daughter is at SMU, getting her master's in pediatric counseling. My second oldest daughter is a Tulane med student. So I graduated from Tulane in 1990 from med school, and she will graduate in 2027, 99 years after her great-grandfather.
Wow.
My son is a freshman at Trinity University in San Antonio, and my youngest daughter is a senior at ESD. My family on my father's side came to the U.S. in the 1800s. My great-great-great-grandfather was Naphtali Levy. He is buried in the Jewish cemetery in New Orleans, and we think he came in the 1840s or 50s. He and his wife together had 17 children.
Oh my God.
And they originally settled in the Beaumont area, and all of their offspring kind of spread to Texas and Louisiana. But he wound up raising his family mainly in New Orleans, and that's where he died. On my mom's side, her maiden name was Burke, which was a shortened form of Berkowitz. and they were Ukrainian. My grandfather was one of 7 children who grew up in the Bronx, and his father, Joseph Berkowitz, immigrated from Ukraine. My mother's mother was Pearl Bazar, B-A-Z-A-R, also of Ukrainian background. And they met in New York, and they were married there. And then my grandfather took a job in New Orleans, and so my mom, her mother, and her younger brother, Kenneth Burke, grew up in New Orleans. And my dad and mom met in New Orleans and were married in 1961. I moved to Dallas in 1996 for a job. I was really looking in the Dallas area. At the time, my sister lived in Atlanta, and so I looked there as well. But I took a job with Texas Sports Medicine here in Dallas.
Let me just ask you, what did you do before that? Obviously,
Sure.
you didn't get here till 1996,
Right,
so
yeah.
what did you do?
So med school, I graduated in 90. I did an internship and 4 years of orthopedics in New Orleans at Tulane. And I then did a fellowship in shoulder surgery in Columbus, Georgia. And that's where I met my wife, who grew up in Columbus.
Oh, okay. I figured somewhere in there you got married. So.
Right, so I actually got married here in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
At Temple Emmanuel. My wife moved.
Temple Shalom.
Oh, it was Shalom, you're right.
Okay.
We moved to Emmanuel a few years after
That's okay.
we got married. But the wedding itself was in Georgia. But we were members of Shalom when we were married. My wife being from Georgia, we were married at Callaway Gardens. But we were already living here in Dallas at the time. Rabbi Roseman was the rabbi at the time that we were married. We started having children fairly quickly. Lauren and Jenna came first, and they both had their bat mitzvah at Temple Emmanuel.
So I just want to know, you said you had looked around a couple of places, but what was the main reason you picked Dallas? Was it that your brother was here?
My brother was here. I had an interview with Dr. Sorial, who was the senior partner at Texas Sports Medicine, and we hit it off very well. And between that and my brother being here, I accepted the job, and it's the only job I had in Dallas. Now I've practiced for 29 years, retired at the end of July this year due to my disease. And after my 2 older girls came, we welcomed my son, who's now 19, and my baby, who is 17. And all my nieces and nephews from my brother live here in Dallas and are working, or one is a senior in college.
What kind of activities did you have, or what did you get involved in when you first moved here? Was it strictly because your job probably took up a lot of time, or were you and your wife able to do anything else?
I have. My job is a big demand on my time, but I quickly joined the Temple Shalom Softball League, and that has been a huge part of my life ever since I joined it. I played softball with my father and brother in New Orleans, fell in love with baseball, became a big Texas Rangers fan, and joined the JCC. All my kids went to preschool either at Emmanuel or at the JCC, mainly for camp. And the JCC has been a big part of my life. I've played in men's leagues. My kids all played sports there, and I've been a member there since '96. I did some volunteer work at Temple Emmanuel, not a whole lot because my job kept me busy, but I've been on some of the committees that actually chose the rabbi, and so I've done some of that. We've been active with Federation. I always attend the dinner there. My wife and I have contributed to Federation every year. We've been, almost all our friends are Jewish. People who come visit me are Jewish, so Judaism has been a big part of my identity. Actually, I did Ancestry.com and found out I'm 99.9% Ashkenazi Jew from Europe, mainly Ukraine. But I found the 0.1% that it's not, apparently, is Lithuanian. So that's the only little fly in the ointment.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been here a good while now. I like to ask people, how have you seen Dallas change since you've got here?
The main thing has been the expansion of the population. When I first got here, there was nothing really north of Plano Parkway and Park up there. We opened an office up in Frisco, and it was in the middle of cornfields, and there was no toll road or anything.
Right.
And now Dallas, has gone so far up north. We have friends in Melissa, in Josephine. Sophie can drive as far as the eye can see, and it's community after community. But we've always been here in Dallas, and everything we do is within a few miles of where we live. Our temple is, the JCC is. Obviously, security has been a big thing at both Emmanuel and the JCC. It's a constant, increase in security for Jewish people. We couldn't believe it during the high holidays last year when there were Palestinian protesters right out in front of the temple and armed security. So that's something that I never thought I would see. And so that's been a big way that Dallas has changed. Even since October 7, Jewish Dallas has changed a lot. And but Dallas has been home for nearly 30 years to me. And other than my football allegiance, which is to the New Orleans Saints, Dallas is home.
My neighbor also. New Orleans Saints all the way.
Yeah.
We have this fight, this rivalry going.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what would you say, if you could pinpoint, would be one of your greatest achievements, either professionally or personally?
Certainly my greatest personal achievement has been raising my 4 kids. They're all smart, kind, beautiful kids, ranging from 17 to 26. I'm proud of every one of them. And for my wife and I, that's been my crowning achievement.
Wonderful.
Professionally, I've had a busy shoulder surgery practice, and my patients are my children in my professional life. I took care of the Dallas Mavericks as assistant team doctor for about 15 years, and that was a big accomplishment as well.
Can you think of someone who you would say would have been or has been a role model for you?
My dad and mom, first and foremost. They're both kind, accomplished people. They gave everything they had to their kids, and that's how I live my life as well. So they are my biggest role models.
Any regrets at all about moving to Dallas?
Only that I can't go to as many Saints games as I want, but that regret is tempered by the wonderful 2009 football season when we won the Super Bowl. Fun story, my daughter was less than 2 years old at the time, and therefore could fly free on my lap. So during that football season, Elliot and I jumped on a Southwest flight for 6 of the 8 home games. My dad would pick me up at the airport. I would put Elliot in my mom's hands. We'd drop them off at their house, and my dad and I would go to the football game. So during the Super Bowl season, I went to 6 of the 8 home games, both playoff games, and then my brother, my dad, 2 of my nephews, and my sister all went to the Super Bowl in Miami, where Drew Brees led us to the championship. So I forget what your question was.
No, that's
that
perfect.
it was about regrets. No, I love Dallas. I love the Dallas community. I have so many friends and patients who have rallied to my support. Dallas has opened up has welcomed us with open arms, and I have no regrets.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? This has been wonderful.
Now, I've enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, and I have nothing but warm feelings of Dallas, and I look forward to spending my remaining days here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Levy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.